Hello and welcome aboard. I'm Ben from Melt the Icebergs. I'm a professional pilot with 25 years experience flying for airlines and VIPs. And today I wanted to explain my idea of Melt the Icebergs, which has nothing to do with global warming, but everything to do with how we overcome the obstacles that lie in the path of our successful ability to navigate through the journey of life. So please sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Now, my concept of Melt the Icebergs comes from my long-term fascination with the story of the Titanic. It was based on an incredible adventure, and it was launched into the sea in great celebration at the start of an amazing journey. Yet 4 days into that maiden voyage, it was brought down by that one single iceberg with the loss of 1,500 lives, and it was just an immense tragedy. And for me, that represents the story that we are all on as individuals. We are born into great excitement, love-filled celebration, launched into the open seas with endless potential, but inevitably there are going to be some obstacles, some icebergs that lie in our path. And the bit that we see above it represents the conscious signal that there is potential danger ahead. And that crew on the Titanic would have seen that bit above the water, but they had no idea about the real danger that lay in the 2/3 of that iceberg, in the deep, dark, inhospitable part of that sea. And for humans, the 2/3 of that iceberg represents the dark depths of the subconscious mind, the bit that's very difficult to see, the bit that's very difficult to understand. And a lot of that subconscious mind is made up of an accumulation of all the events that have happened in our life, much of it the physical and the mental pain that we've gone through that line up and prevent us forging through successfully. And the thing is, unless we do something to melt those icebergs in our head, they're just going to get bigger and bigger and completely consume us. I think it's really important to understand that we don't need to live in constant fear these days of our basic survival, because those things are just not legitimate. Our brain is just sending these false signals of fear to us all the time. And one of the things that came out of the Titanic tragedy was the development of the modern radar system to help ships and aircraft to have a better understanding of what's going on around them, so they can make decisions on what actually is a danger and what isn't a danger. And I think one of the very fortunate things about modern living is that there is every opportunity for us to develop those internal radar systems to work out what is legitimate in terms of the things we feel fearful of, so that we can concentrate on our passion and our curiosity for exploring new things and just living that life full of adventure. Those ideas come from the core of our heart. So in order to melt those icebergs in our heads, we need to fire up our hearts. We need to take control of our lives again. We need to go back to how we felt when we were 7 years old, when exploring everything was just a normal thing for us. And I think that if we do that, then we will continue to build that self-belief and that confidence to forge through successfully in our journey through life. So here's a question for you to go away with, is to really ask yourself whether you are ready to tune into your internal radar system so that you can discover that incredible potential that lies just ahead of you. And if you are ready, please let me know in that comments box below. And if you've enjoyed the video, be sure to come back for some more as I share my experiences, thoughts and adventures traveling around the world. In the meantime, keep it in the greens, continue to discover your self-belief and live the life of your dreams.
Icebergs.